To all the early risers, good morning and thanks for joining us. This is Sean Murray with Evan Jensen coming to you at the U.S. Open of Curling from the Four Seasons Curling Club in Blaine, Minnesota. Evan, top of the morning.
Yes, good morning, Sean.
Bit of an early game for us here. But we've got some quarterfinal action from the U.S. Open. And our featured game is going to be the Scott Dunham rink, playing red and delivering first here versus the Sean Baton rink. The other game over there on sheet D that you can kind of see is Rich Ruonen versus Todd Burr. Burr winning that play-in game last night. A really exciting finish. So the Sean Baton rink, this is Chris Bond in the hack, about to deliver his first shot, asked to play the tick. Bumps it off to the side, pretty well executed. Now has two corner guards. This is Daniel Dutt playing lead for the Dunham rink. This Dunham team has already secured a berth to the U.S. National Championships via the Order of Merit points. So they're trying to finish as best as they can here to earn more points towards possible Worlds qualification, should they be able to successfully win the National Championship. Another guard goes up, and it's Alex Leichter who calls the shots for this Baton rink. Going to have Chris Bond just play the come around. Oh, looks like it's into the guard again. Still not bad.
No, nothing in the rings yet.
Plenty of corner guards. Dunham without hammer wants something in the middle. He's going to keep putting it there. Puts the broom down for his brother Andy, delivering second stones. Alex going to want to clear something in the middle here. Yeah, just going to have his second Derek McLean play the peel. No mistake, doesn't push any of the red Dunham stones into the rings, so good shot. Evan, I think you and I were talking a little bit last night about if we were going to have anybody watching this morning, we might have, like, say, 5 people or so. But at the moment, we've got, looks like about 21 that have decided to have their morning coffee with us. Thanks for joining us. Full slate of games today. I said this is the quarterfinal. At 11, we'll have the semifinals. And at 2 o'clock will be the championship final. Center guard back up. Derek McLean going to look to make the peel again. And again, well executed. Dunham really with not much option here but to keep throwing this center. He doesn't want to do anything with those side rocks. Any play over there would go right into Baton's hands. And this is the Dunham third, Cody Klauser.
Another great center guard.
So now into third stones. Alex Leichter is going to come down and play third. Baton is the last rock thrower on this team that doesn't hold the broom. Alex is going to look to peel the red the other way towards the other two reds, maybe get rid of two of them. Makes all of them move, but gonna get kind of a bad break. Jams the closest one. It just spins to the back of the forefoot.
Gives Dunham an opportunity to sit two here. He's gonna look to draw under the guards on the right.
Yeah, that's one way of approaching it. You could make an argument for just throwing a tight center, too.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that stone's behind the tee line, but Dunham doesn't have the hammer here. Let's see how this plays out. Sweepers are going really hard for weight. This looks like it might be a bit short. Yeah, it comes up short.
Yeah. Like you said, though, just having a
yeah,
center doesn't hurt them at all.
Yeah, really a pretty good result, actually. It forces the play to the center, which favors Dunham. So looking at the peel again, I think Alex was asking if there's any way he could maybe kick one of his yellows into the rings. Maybe. Not really sure. I think the peel has to be mission 1. See what happens here. Oh, and it does, but it's going to push it all the way through. So it was there. I just think he had to hit a little more of the peel rock to just graze a yellow a bit. I personally would probably be calling this still a tight guard. I don't think I'd be coming in until my last.
Yeah.
If I'm going to skip in this situation.
You don't want to risk an easy double.
Well, yeah, if you give up a double, you might allow Baton to get out of the end with a blank. Throw the tight guard. They may have to play a run back of some sort. Even if they make it, you've got something to duck around and force.
Yep.
I did hear them say just top 12. Maybe they'd like to just get a little bite of the rings, which is fine. Mm-hmm. I think short has to be the error here. That's pretty perfect. It is just biting, but it's not in a position where a double can be made, and Baton would be in the rings. But he's got to try to play this.
They're going to catch it, but
double's not made. Just going to get the top one. Alex called for sweeping right away. Maybe just a little bit tight on that one, perhaps. So now it's not so bad if you come into like the top of the 8 foot, and then you're forcing Sean to make a double just to score. Same spot would be pretty good too, just outside of the rings. That way even if he makes the double, he would just blank. Might actually be better to come in to force the score of one with the double.
Sweepers are on it early.
I think I heard them say 3, which would be short. Which is fine as long as it's covering that stone.
Yeah, they don't want to oversweep it.
Well, they're really working it hard. I think they're just trying to get it as far as they can.
Still curling. It's going to be close.
Have to go to cover it. Oh, that's some good sweeping. Oh,
yeah, good result there.
Just right from pillar to post. Just get it there. It's a pretty long double. The other option is drawing through the port to the backer to take one, which is not a terribly simple shot. They haven't played that line very much. If you hit this on the broom side and you roll the shooter, I think you can probably get away, make a blank out of this. Got to throw a lot of weight, though, because you have to roll that shooter a long way. Sean's one of the better big weight throwers in the game, so definitely within his wheelhouse to make it.
We're just going to get the top one.
Just misses the back one. So that's going to go in the books as a steal of 1 for the Dunham rink. Very patient steal of 1. Early advantage to them. Team Baton will keep the hammer into the second end, and they'll try to get themselves on the board, and we'll have that for you right after this. Dunham, having stolen one, first to act, opts to throw up the center guard. They're going to keep the aggressive play up and work to their advantage last end. Oh, and we were talking earlier when we were yesterday broadcasting the Corbett-Berg game that I couldn't think if there were any other southpaws in the field aside from Derek Corbett, and it turns out there are. Chris Bond.
Yep. But yeah, I think those are the only two this weekend.
I believe so.
Another good tick by Chris here.
Yeah, pretty sure that was the call. I thought that was tight ice for a come around, so.
Push that red near the rings. I don't know if they're on. You have the overhead? I don't think it's on.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's on. Not that it's really big consequence if it is, but Chris is off to a pretty good start this morning.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how important the tick shot has become in the tool bag of leads, and he's really showing that he's got that tool in good shape in his tool bag. This one's going to be really close to the house. It might come in.
Oh, just short.
Stops just outside. Not quite a stone's width outside. And now Alex is going to opt to make use of his own yellow on the side. They're going to have Chris come around it. Looks like it has plenty of weight. And it is not going to hold on.
Just through.
Line was absolutely perfect, just a little too much weight. It's going to give the Dunham rink a free chance at coming around their own center guard. Calling out back line. That's a long ways heavy.
Yeah, they're backing off.
Definitely running like it's heavy. It really hasn't made a big move yet.
Looks like it's slowing down a little bit here.
It's checking up pretty good now, actually.
Looks like about top four.
Wow, look at that finish. Wow.
Whoa.
That ended up perfect. That's pretty good for a back line waiter,
huh? Dead buried.
Dead buried, top four. Like, okay. Should throw back line weight more often. So looking for some cleanup. Alex McLean going to try the run back. Not quite. So if the last one was back line, I guess you want this one to be like throw about top four and it'll be a perfect guard.
It's just to throw their opponents off.
I think so.
It's all a cruel ploy. Sweepers are backing off again.
That is actually putting his hand in front of Cody saying, don't sweep this. They've already decided it's not going to stop, so they're going to bring it as far in as they can. Drifts into the top 8 foot.
About a rock width between the two of them. They'll probably lose the shooter trying to get this double.
I think Alex is hopefully trying to hold his in the house somewhere. Could roll towards our own corners. Oh man, I should have stayed on that and just played it as a hit and roll into the corners.
Yeah. Yeah, would have left the Dunham's Dome open.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. You were never going to make the double play
No.
it that way, but it would have been a really big deal to just roll under the 2 yellow corner guards there.
So it looks like they're going to try to draw over to the right.
Yeah, I can just split the rings now.
Force Baton to play towards the center or hit and roll to the center.
Yeah, I think one thing you want to do with this, you don't want to be buried because that's going to give Baton something to freeze to. You'd like to leave this just fully open.
Sweeper's got to go for a weight, but I don't think it's going to get there.
No, this is a long ways short. It's only not even a 2 guard. Checks up pretty badly. So Alex is going to look to play the hit, try to roll to the left, get a bit underneath that tight redstone, keeping play away from the middle if they can. Got a good one here.
Oh, perfect roll.
Very nicely done. Pretty close behind that red, but the whole idea there is to draw play to the wings.
Sweeper's on it early. Got to hit it about nose.
Well, I don't think it's missing the one in the house. Nope. It's going to roll pretty much all the way out. So that's exactly the kind of mistake that Team Baton was looking for. They can now come around the center. I think the only way you can actually get under those yellows on the right is to actually tap one. Maybe a simpler shot to just come around that red guard. I wouldn't want to be trying to tap way out on the wings there anyways. Who knows where you put the broom for that. Calling that it's heavy. It's definitely not going to bury. But you want this in the house. It's not going to stay.
No.
Oh, that's
Just
a
throw.
That's a big mistake. Gonna let Team Dunham off the hook, just play the open hit. It's a long ways to go, but they could try to roll back towards the middle. Mission 1, make the hit and stay in the rings, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even a nose hit would be just fine here.
Absolutely. He's sweeping to make it curl. This has to curl to stay.
Looks like they get the nose.
Just got it there.
leaves Sean with a pretty tough hit and roll. Again, got to roll a long ways to get under any cover there. This one hanging out there as well.
Looks like it'll finish hard and just stay there. Pretty good because Dunham has to hit it. They'd roll. If that had rolled out, you'd see Dunham hurry up and put the ice down to draw around that center. We actually got ice inside the nose. It must be running awfully straight out there.
Yeah, it looked like both teams were struggling to get to the inside of the stone.
So now Dunham's definitely going to be looking to roll somewhere. In a perfect world, they roll right behind their red, but even if it rolls all the way over behind the yellows, that will still be good enough to force the Baton team to draw for one.
Sweeper's on it now. Oh. It's going to be close.
Rolling a little bit, but not nearly far enough.
No.
Baton's going to go down and have a look at a blank opportunity. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, and it stuffs. And they're going to have to take the point on that.
Yep.
A couple of mistakes on that end lead to a single for Baton. That one really curled up on him. I think it surprised him. But as it is, it's going to knot the game up at 1-1. Dunham is going to have their first chance with the hammer in the third end. And we'll have that for you right after this. Slight miscue on the blank attempt forces Team Baton to take a single point. Now hand the hammer over to Team Dunham. They want to get the hammer back, so they're going to try to force Dunham to take a single, and to that end, they make their first shot at center guard. Dunham looked like he's electing to have Daniel Dutt play the come around. Gotta go to get this by. It's by, just not with a lot of weight though.
No.
Not a bad spot.
No, peeking out just a little bit.
Half open. Looks like we might see a few rocks in play. Alex is going to have Chris draw around that entire situation. This is going to come up a long ways short. Actually tips their stone over a little bit and now fully covers that Dunham rock in the rings. I think I agree with Andy. I don't think you want to bring a second one around the center because you'll probably see some kind of run back coming from Baton next. Get some separation. Like to have this at least at the tee line, even a little bit behind the tee line is completely fine. Don't want to leave a hit and roll. Got to go to get this on the rings. Well swept. That's a great shot. Still leaves a potential roll, but it's such a long one. It's just a hard shot.
Looks like they're going to get mostly nose here.
Yeah, just nose and hard to tell who shot.
Guessing yellow is if they're going to go for the hit, but maybe they'd go for the hit either way.
I think they probably would either way just because their only other counter in the rings is so far out.
Yeah.
Can't really roll anywhere. I'd say nose is probably the best bet.
I would agree. Well, they're going to go for the roll.
Might as well get it buried now. Well, pretty much a perfect roll.
Alex left with the run back here.
If they were aggressively going to steal, you could always come down to that one. But the way this is lined up, the run double is pretty simple. Hit it just a shade on the broom side.
Oh.
Just misses the one in the rings, but works out decently. They roll one of theirs into the rings, and that Dunham stone's fully exposed. The only slight problem is that the yellow centers are overlapped a bit, so it's difficult to run them back. Gonna like to come around the center, and I'm okay with this because of the overlapped guards.
Yeah, if they get one half buried, it would be pretty tough to get rid of both of the reds.
Yeah.
They're saying back house wait.
Don't want to be heavy.
Looks like they might be tapping their own.
Probably not the best.
No.
That stone is right on the pin, but that leaves something nice for Alex to just come down and freeze to shrink the scoring area to really nothing, which is what they were hoping for. This is the kind of shot that is absolutely crucial that you let the sweepers position this. It's okay to be a little bit short, like just short biting the top of the 4 is completely fine. What is not fine is to bounce off of that.
They're saying about back line.
It's got to move a bunch here.
They might just be going down to the back one at this point.
That's probably what I would do. I don't know if it's got the weight for that, though.
No. Not a good spot.
That was perfect weight, just didn't finish. It was absolutely perfect weight.
They're looking at a couple different options here. Either draw another one down to it or possibly tap it back a bit, the yellow one.
I think I would like to see them move this a little bit.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily need to hit it.
Nope.
But just like a heavy draw, bump it and roll your 2 underneath, because if you can stack your 2 reds dead under those yellow guards, those guards can't be run back because of the overlap. I'm thinking just like back line on this.
Got to go for weight here.
Just gets it to bite at the top of the 8-foot. Not bad.
Still usable.
Absolutely. And this has to be a bit of a concerning setup for Baton now, because those 3 red rocks are not theirs and they belong to the team with the hammer. The only thing is that you can see what Alex is lining up. They may have put it in position where you might actually be able to triple those reds. Hit it on the left side as we're looking at it. Drive it into the red shot stone, and then drive that one towards the back red. I think you can triple these if you hit it just right. I'd say thick half of that top red. Thick half onto about 2/3 of the red button stone onto the back one. We'll see. Alex is going to give it a go, and I like it. Could get his team out of a heap of trouble here.
As long as he doesn't nose it, he should be fine.
Yeah, you sure don't want to nose it. I think even if he ends up kind of just ticking the yellow a bit and sort of crotching it, I think he might still be able to get rid of 2 that way, because the one he's hitting should spin up and out of the house.
Oh.
See what happens. Close. Oh.
Stuffs it. Leaves.
Stuffs it and rolls it even more under those overlapped guards.
And I think Dunham's red rock is still shot.
Still shot, yeah.
Dunham now has a little more room to get that yellow out if they choose to.
And now it wouldn't be too bad, I think, to go ahead and remove that yellow and roll to the left.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You could do that. You could also, if you wanted to, just come down to that red and freeze right there.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're looking at doing, just drawing down to the center under cover. more or less setting them up for a possible bigger end.
He's concerned that if he hits that yellow and rolls away, that Alex might be able to come down with a freeze of some sort and kill the end.
Even a lightweight tap and roll wouldn't be bad either. Rolling under the shot stone.
Similar to the call last time.
Yeah. Sweepers like the weight. It's hanging out there, though.
We're just not seeing a lot of finish on this line.
Oh,
man. I don't think they wanted to do that. They ended up pumping the bait and rock in for shot.
Baton now looking at playing this freeze on the red.
Well, he's trying to freeze sort of into the pocket made by his own and the second shot Dunham rock, and I like that. I don't know. Hammer team last a third stones. I personally might have been a fan of just getting rid of that yellow sitting three. You've only got skips rocks left. I mean, you know, they've only got 2 shots to make a really good freeze. And if they don't, they're going to give up a bunch. That's, you know, just my personal preference. Seen a few stones on this side track. Weight generally hasn't been bad. Just not moving as they've been expected to. Calling 8, which is back 4 foot. You got to be careful that they don't bump this and set up some kind of double for Dunham.
Oh, and they push themselves out of shot.
Oh, man.
And it looks like there could be a nose double.
There's definitely a nose double for Dunham to sit as many as 4 if they make it correctly. Sean just a little heavy on that. Coming up short there would have been okay. You have to get kind of tight to those guards in the middle, but
you don't have to play with a lot of weight since you don't need to move those 2 rocks too far.
Well, I think you want to make sure you do, because if you hit it a little bit fat, you're still spinning the one you're hitting out of the 4 foot, leaving yourself sitting at least 2.
Good point.
Obviously, in a perfect world, you get a little bit inside and actually roll to the center, and you're definitely making the double at that point. If this is made like Andy wants to, he's going to put Sean Baton in a world of hurt with his last. He's not throwing a lot of weight.
This one's moving hard.
Gotta get it by. Oh! Wow.
They do push their one into the rings. Sean looking at different options here, one of which is to just hit and stick on that red.
I think his best option is to throw like a hack weight at that red. Go ahead and remove it. Sit 3. If you roll cornered to your own, if you roll corner frozen to your own, you're actually going to make it really hard for Team Dunham to score, because if they make the nose double, your back one's going to count for the steal. think that's exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, that the yellow in the top 4 foot would probably jam on that left red one.
Yep. I mean, if you wanted to throw some weight and maybe crotch those two, you can kill the red. And as you said, yellow on the left would go over and stick on the side one, but I don't know that you really need to do that. Yeah, I'd like to just see hack weight hit that half-buried red, roll to the center line, corner up the yellows, and Dunham's not really going to have much. Really had to make that last shot. I just would have liked to have seen him throw more weight at that. You have to make sure you get by the guards.
It's looking pretty good.
Got a curl. That works out well. That works out really well. Baden now sitting 3, and ooh, man, Dunham might have a shot to get in there to score, but it's really tough. All I see is out turn away from the center. You actually got to snake past the top 12 red, past the shot stone in the top of the 4, and sort of bounce and roll off of the side yellow into the 4 foot. That's oof.
There's not a lot of room for that.
Well, that is not a shot I'd want to be playing.
They're also looking at running the red back into the pile.
That's a short path to give it up
Yeah.
to, though. I don't like that.
No.
Nice thing is that the way this is framed, is if you make it through the hole, you're probably scoring because it's really tough to hit to get too much of that side yellow. If you bump up against it, you are rolling into the center. But I think the key here is the one stone you cannot afford to wreck on is that high red. If you touch that high red, you're giving up 3. Pretty tough because if you hit too much of the yellow, you're probably giving up 3 too. So this is a very, very difficult shot. A lot of big swings in this end. And a couple shots ago, Scott thought he was going to have a chance at maybe 4, and now he's got to make a good one to not give up 3.
Yeah.
Big turns.
So it needs to curl.
I think it's close. Got a chance.
Looks like they're by the top one for sure.
I think he might have a real pistol here.
Oh,
look at that.
yeah.
What a great
Perfect.
shot. Oh, you just couldn't do any better than that. Scott comes through in the clutch there. Scores a big and hard-earned single point. Got a nice match going here. That's going to make it 2-1 Dunham. Baton's going to get the hammer back in the 4th end. And we'll have that for you right after this. Dunham makes a heck of a shot to score his single in the third. Out of the start of the fourth, they're going to stay with the offense, throw in the center guard with a 1-point lead. Chris Bond being asked to make the tick. He's done pretty good with these so far this game. Don't think he's going to make contact this time, though. Heavy enough, it's going to slide all the way through. Evan's a happy camper because we found a nice little space heater in our little cubby here.
It's cold in here.
It is a little chilly. So now looking for the come around. Got some really nice line on this. Plenty of weight though.
Let's look about top button.
Might be right on the pin pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Pretty nice. So now Chris looking to make the freeze. Just come down to and sit on this. Don't need to tap it. Going for weight. This is getting close to the guard.
Oh, they are by.
They're by, but they're not very far into the house. They might get this to the 8-foot. Yeah, it's about half in the 8-foot, but the difficulty is that it kind of provides some protection for that red Dunham stone that's right on the button. Andy Dunham going to look for the corner freeze on that stone just placed there.
This one hanging out a bit. And it's heavy.
Ooh.
This one is
miss
not
everything.
Stick around.
Oh, man, it's perfectly okay to be short on that, Andy.
Now that 5 rocks have been played, Alex can call a hit if he wishes. But it looks like he's going to play a tap. Looking to just move that red one into the back of the house.
And 11 is through. So now just going to try and bump this red if they can.
Yeah, if they can catch a piece, it might stick around.
Don't think it's going to.
No.
That's three overthrows in a row we've seen.
Andy with another shot to sit one up front.
Yeah, just needs to bear in mind that coming up as a guard here is completely fine. Ice may be quickening up a little bit mid-game, catching the players off guard.
Still just a hair heavy. Gonna bring it down to their own.
We'll go and freeze on their own, and that's not a bad result either.
No.
Only problem is that it provides some access for Team Baton to do something with the shot rock, but it's pretty tough to get rid of both of those. You can move both of them. Definitely kill the shot stone. I don't know that you can actually get rid of the one just placed there. I think Baton would be okay just staying frozen to it.
Looking to just move things around here. About board weight.
Get this as close to nose as they can so it stays right there. That goes off just a bit. Still a pretty good shot. That gives Scott the chance to hit and roll back under center. Could kind of carry him off his own up a little bit if it happens to work out that way. See what Cody Clouser can do about that. Looks like just a whole lot of nose. Dunham sitting 2, but relatively simple double. I've hit this kind of thin. It's probably only a quarter rock. And you saw Sean motion there very, very smartly. If you hit this fat 2/3 and just roll under the center, that's okay too.
It's going to be close.
Doesn't have the double, just trying to roll into the middle now.
I got that.
That works out pretty good.
Dunham left just to guard their own. Just try to hang on to that shot stone there in the 4-foot.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary for Dunham at the moment. Baton with hammer has 2 buried. Six is not good. You don't want to be up to your own.
They could tick it over, possibly. I think it'll rub off that yellow, though.
If they do that, they have to roll the shooter a long ways away. Oh, my. Oh, that's not where Cody wanted that at all.
Sean's going to look at doubling those.
Yeah, I think just dead nose will do him well.
Yep.
Seen several this end be a lot heavier than the players are desiring. I can only imagine or assume that the ice must be speeding up this end, kind of catching the players off guard a bit. That is at least the 4th significantly heavy draw that we've seen so far this end. Has to curl.
I might just stuff this one. They do.
Well,
still sitting shot.
They leave themselves sitting shot at least, so it's not a complete loss. But doubles don't come a whole lot simpler than that one.
Scott looking just to draw down and freeze to that yellow center in the top 4.
Yeah, he's got that nice pocket to sit in there.
Playing for the force at this point, unless he gets another opportunity to get rid of it.
He's got plenty of weight on this. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think you can get rid of both reds without losing that shot yellow.
I don't know if that top one goes. I think if you smoke it and right on the nose, you might rattle it through. Of course, one consideration is that Baton is still sitting shot. If you wanted to, you could maybe punch that red clean through there.
I think that would be risking hitting your shot stone,
It would be risking, but the thought process there is if you can just hit it like straight through and maybe roll your shooter in front of that other red.
Yeah.
Like right there as Derek motioned. Obviously that doesn't come without risk, but it might give them the best chance for a big score this end. I think you need to deal with that stone in some manner, though, whether it's trying that, trying not to chip your own out from behind cover, or just throwing smoke at it, trying to get to the nose and clear out everything you can, just to leave yourself sitting 2. While they discuss, just going to throw another quick plug in for the 2019 Lupus Spiel back at the Four Seasons Curling Club. The dates are May 3 to 5th, 2019. For more information, you can go to the website. It's www.letscurelupus.org. They also have a Facebook page, Lupus Research Foundation, I believe it's called. I know they have having a skip auction, a raffle this year.
That's correct.
Players can bid and to play with their favorite skip. There's been some dude here the last couple of years by the name of Kevin Martin. Don't really know who that is.
Might be some kind of a big deal.
Might be, I'm kind of a big deal. He's kind of a big deal. So after discussion, looks like they're going to try the shot that I was talking about. Just hit the shot stone and try to roll in front. Pretty good.
Oh, just poked it out.
That's not a bad leave at all, though.
No.
It would have been, of course, best to roll dead in front of that red, but it rolls away, and Dunham's got one lonely tomato in there against 3 not so lonely lemons.
So it looks like they're going to go for the hit and roll off of that right side yellow.
Yeah, it's trying to accomplish two things with this. Limit the damage as much as they can, and also try to get a redstone back into the similar position. If they can position this correctly, they could limit Sean to a difficult shot to maybe get two. I don't think they're actually trying to get shot on this, and I'm not sure they could anyways. You have to roll in somewhere. It's going to roll somewhere. Looks to me like they may have actually pushed themselves in for shot. It's close, but in any case, Sean is going to have a nose double for 3. He definitely wanted to roll further than that and not set this up. Real big opportunity for Team Baton to score some points and take control of this game at the halfway point.
This one hanging out a bit.
Now we've seen this again.
Just stuffed it.
Man, oh man. Seen that a couple of times. Just these hits just not moving, and that's twice that they had relatively simple doubles and just jammed them both. They just need to give themselves a little less ice or something. I don't know, but
yeah, the sweepers are definitely capable of holding those
rocks
out.
out. Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to go into the books as only a score of 1. Nothing but singles so far this game. Dunham's going to get the hammer back. We're all tied at 2-2, and we'll have that start of the 5th end for you right after this. So, Evan, I would call that last end, big story of that last end, kind of missed opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, on 2 separate occasions, Team Baton had pretty easy doubles to sit 3. And I don't know if they were just a bit overthrown or maybe a little wide or just too much ice or something. But for whatever reason, they both ran, they both jammed. And as a result, 3 becomes 1, and we have a tie game instead of a 2-point difference. Baton really wants to get that hammer back into that end through the center guard. Dunham, by drawing to the wings, has signified that he would prefer to probably blank this end. Goes to the wings, and Alex is going to elect to have Chris Bond play the hit. Chris with the successful nose hit. We've got another quarterfinal going on in Sheet D between Rich Ruinen and Todd Burr. It was a reasonably close game. Ruinen was up 2, but we have to be focusing on this game. Didn't really see what happened, but by some method or another, Team Ruinen stole 3 and now has a commanding 6-1 lead in the 5th end of their game. Winner of that game is going to take on Team Kim from Korea in the semifinals. That is the game we'll be featuring at 11 o'clock. Winner of this game here between Sean Baton and Scott Dunham will take on Mike McCarville from Thunder Bay in the other semifinal. We have a good collection of early risers joining us this morning. We've got 60 separate watchers at the moment. Appreciate you all for joining us this morning. Sean Murray, Evan Jensen from the U.S. Open of Curling from the Four Seasons Curling Club in Blaine, Minnesota. This is the quarterfinal matchup between Sean Baton and Scott Dunham. All level at 2 each. Playing the 5th end. Dunham playing red has the hammer. Dunham's initial call of drawing to the wing signals to me that he would like to blank this end, and if he really does want to blank this end, I'm hoping he'll take a chance on hitting that Yellowstone in the house, and he will. He's going to hit and roll to the left, going to look to stay, and he's going to hope for a rollout by Team Baton, which would allow him to peel that guard and run this end through. This needs to curl.
Looks like they'll catch a piece, but probably not going to stick around.
Nope. Gets just enough to remove it. Alex and team, on the other hand, would desperately like to force, or even better, maybe steal this end. So he's going to throw up a second center guard. That's what Derek McLean is going to try to do. Nice weight there from Derek. There is a double peel available.
They're electing to draw under the guard.
Yeah, which I have to admit I find a little bit curious based on how Scott called the first few shots of this end. It was...
Ooh, and this one's going to overcurl.
Yeah, this is all over the guards already. It led me to believe that he was looking to blank this end, but calling the come around, and now that come around coming up a long way short sets up another guard. He's going to have a tough time doing that. I don't know. I can't really say even if made properly. I was a terribly big fan of that call. You're made properly, you're going to see Baton come around and freeze on. You're guaranteeing a score of some sort.
Yep.
I mean, it's all well and good if you end up scoring 2, but you don't want to get forced.
No, they're definitely not set up for a good way to score 2 here. This one coming up short as well.
And again, over curling by a bunch. Maybe a little light, but still.
Kind of the opposite of the last end where everything was going through. Now everything's coming up short.
Yeah, maybe the sheet has suddenly become tilted. A little bit uphill this direction. Hard to know.
Cody going to try to draw under here. Sweepers are on it right away. Calling a 1-2, meaning it's really high guard.
Boy, what is going on here? Well, at this point, it's basically a race to the middle.
Yep. Yeah, as soon as one gets under there.
Yeah, it's like for
what are you going to do?
For first one to the button wins pretty much at this point.
Alex trying to draw under here now, and it's kind of hanging out a bit.
Oh, it's not so bad if they just get it buried somewhere. And I don't think it really is. Goes to the back of the 8-foot. Dunham can see pretty much the entire thing. I think he's realizing that he's probably not going to be able to blank this end now. There's just too much detritus in the middle. So he's going to have Cody Klauser with his final shot of the 5th end play the come around that Alex just tried. Figures, might as well go for 2 now. I'm probably not going to blank.
This one a bit heavy.
That's running like it's heavy. Maybe just come down and freeze on that back one.
They're going to catch a little bit of it, but they're going to roll.
Oh,
roll his second shot.
That's a bad miss.
Pushes Baton's rock undercover.
Undercover and still shot.
Sean has another chance here to get one undercover. Again, basically first one to the button.
So looking for top 8, top 4 underneath those guards. Team Baton will be in really good shape for a force with that being done.
This one looking much better. Sweepers need to get it in there.
Looks like they got it to the top of the 4-foot, just biting.
Mostly covered.
In there to sit 2. That's a pretty good shot.
Dunham's got to deal with it. Looks like they're going to try to hit it out to the right and roll over to the left side.
I tell you, Scott can't see much of this from the hack. If he can see half, I'd be surprised. Certainly the idea is just to bump this one just out of the forefoot, get it out of the way. Leave something there that Sean's going to have to think about dealing with on his last one. Trying not to roll very far with this. A pretty nice looking line.
Gonna hit most of it.
That's a pretty nice shot. Tough to do much better than that.
They may have even gotten shot out of it.
I think he did. I think they just barely got shot. That's very well done by Scott. Really hard to do really any better than that. Shot stone. Sean kind of has to hit it. Play it like a hit and roll.
You know, the roll is key here.
Yep. Yeah, you might make the double on the Reds, but you're not concerned about that at all. Just playing the roll.
That's just bonus.
Yep. And I think if you hit this where you want and make the roll, you're going to make the double for fun anyways. Quick check to make sure that Dunham is for sure shot, and they are. It's really close.
Gotta roll it. They get the double.
Well, they actually get the double. Don't get the roll, but still pretty good shot.
Covers the forefoot pretty nicely. You can't just draw.
Well, Andy's got a couple of choices here. I mean, there is an out-turn draw there, but who knows what the path is for that.
They didn't seem to like that side earlier.
No. You could make the nose double on the yellows and score one. Alternatively, you might be able to make the slash double over top of the back one and maybe double and roll out to blank. I think it's probably worth a try doing that. You're talking about hitting the yellow on the left side as we're looking at it, driving it into the right side of the back red, losing both yellows, and hopefully losing your shooter out the left side. And even if you just stuff it, you give up a steal on one, you still have the hammer down one in the sixth end.
That's right.
Scott Dunham's final. Looking to get both of these in some manner. Doesn't actually make the double, but sticks it close enough to score one. He's not disappointed with that too much. So again, just nothing but back and forth singles in this game. Dunham will take the lead 3-2. Sean Baton will get the hammer back, playing the sixth, down one. They're going to be looking to get a couple of points. And we're going to have that for you right after this. there's no pop in the clip. You can't even tell. So back for the sixth end. Beaten down one with. Chris Bond with his first. Looks like he's going to be attempting the tick shot. He's been pretty good at this most of the game.
This is going to be close.
I think he's got a pretty good one here.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, really, really good. Boy, he's really good at that. I'm impressed.
Scott looking for another higher guard.
Well positioned. This is, I've seen Alex do this a lot. They'll tick the first one and then actually have Chris come under one of the stones with his second rather than play a second tick. That's probably predicated by the fact that they're behind on the scoreboard.
This one looking pretty good. Perfect draw by Chris there.
Really nice.
Scott asking for a freeze on that yellow over in the left.
You know, one shot he could play that I'm not sure he's thinking about. That's their own guard up there. They could run it back if they wanted to.
Calling about back house, about back 8 weight.
You don't want to slide past everything.
Oh, and I don't think it's going to catch a piece of that.
Nope.
Should stick around in the back 12.
No.
But I don't know what good that does him.
It's not really going to help him back there. I really think you could have made an argument for playing the run back on that corner guard. I mean, that's their own guard up there. If they kill it, they're allowed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you get it out of the way, it takes away the cover for the yellow bait and stone.
Yeah, I haven't seen them play many run backs.
No. That's from what I've seen of how they play, not really their preferred shot. They prefer to just play the quiet stuff, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
Yep, works well for them.
Yep. So it looks like they were trying to come around the guard again, but now they're going to, knowing that it's heavy, they're going to try to bring it down to the back red.
Great sweep by Chris.
Oh, that's a really nice, really nice ad lib and good position there.
No tap and locked on.
They've got to get rid of this corner guard. It's killing them. I think they're going to play it now. Yeah. Andy looking for the straight back. You can still get rid of both of these yellows if you hit it absolutely perfectly, but even just getting it out of the way would be fine too.
Yeah, they can't afford to leave these undercover for too much longer.
Looks like just a straight peel.
Looks like they, oh, nope. That's close.
That's okay, though.
But
that's better than it was. So we'll see how Alex wants to play this. You could just guard those again. It's probably a smart choice early in the end as it is now. I personally would be feeling the guard. I might split the rings a couple stones down the line.
Yeah, let Scott, waste a couple more rocks trying to run back or just get rid of the guard.
Right, and you want to leave him fewer opportunities rather than more opportunities to make any sort of double on those yellows. Team's going to have a conversation about it.
And knowing Scott's play style a little more, if that guard's not placed quite right, he could draw under and freeze on those. On those yellows later.
We're only on second stone still. We talk a lot about how sometimes it's too early to do this or do that. And I think it's maybe a bit early to bring another one into the rings yet and leave Team Dunham 2 or 3 chances at making this double on the left. I mean, it's not the simplest double, obviously, because there's a red right in the way. You'd have to absolutely crush it. And maybe that's part of the discussion is like, well, yeah, that double's not really easy. And 2 here is really what they're looking for. 3 would be great, obviously. But so it looks like after a discussion, they've elected to split the rings, bring a third one in. Definitely need to make sure this is in there.
Weight's close. It's going to be a little.
Well, that's really good where it is.
Right on the tee.
Right on the tee or just behind. Perfect.
Yep, no chance for doubles, really.
Not off of that one. The trick with this is that because that yellow, I think might actually be shot in the back. I'm not sure if it's first or second, but you have to catch it as thin as possible with as much weight as possible to actually get it out because it's going to be going way to the right. It's got to go all the way across the rings. So this has to be moving.
Sweepers are on it. I think they might just catch the top one.
I think he's got. Ooh. Oh, man.
Oh, and they didn't even stick around.
Well, now the conversation is, where do you put this? You could kind of go back to where you had it before. You could sort of draw to the right again, sort of in that space between the 2 yellows. As long as it's a little higher, you're still sitting 3.
I think either one of those would be a good option. That left yellow one, you can't really get out.
You could almost, where Alex just put the broom, come right down to those 2 and line them up perfectly, and it would be very hard to remove either one. I think they're going to go ahead and play the freeze down to those 2, or if it comes up just a little short like T-line, that's pretty good too. get this in there.
This one's going to come up just a hair short.
Oh, it's not going to make
rings.
the paint. Oh. Kind of have to be there on that one. It's okay if you're a bit heavy and you tap something.
Yeah, if Scott could get the roll all the way over to those left rocks.
That is an incredibly long and flat roll. And if you do that, you have to watch the jam on that red that's just off the rings on the right there. If you play this, you really got to keep the weight up. You can't afford to stuff it back there.
Oh, boy.
Watch out for that jam back there. Oh, uh-oh. Well, they get away with it, but they're going to lose the shooter. The other quarterfinal was a 7-1 Ruinen victory over Team Burr in only 5 ends. So Ruinen will play Team Kim from Korea in our featured semifinal match at 11 o'clock. Winner of this feature game here between Baton and Dunham will take on Mike McCarville in the other semifinal. Alex looking to draw to the right side of the rings. Right side of the rings there, and just split the house. Be in good shape to get 2.
Weight looking much better on this one. Right to the tee.
That's a pretty good shot. So going to be looking to roll under the center possibly, or the super long roll all the way up against that other yellow is certainly a possibility. Need a lot of weight to get over there though. Can't afford to roll away. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. That one fooled them a bit. We've seen on this sheet, not just this game, but even other games, we've seen a few hits on that side just really tracking full teams.
Sean looking to different ways he could possibly score 3 here.
Well, he's got 2 shots left. He's got both of his left. I think he's looking at if there's some way he can split that tight yellow on and maybe sit 3, but they'd both have to be better than that red. I'm not sure that's possible.
No. I don't know if you really want to mess with that yellow guard either.
Yeah, it's really not in a bad position for him anyways. You could...
You know, maybe a straight tap wouldn't be too bad, though.
Straight tap wouldn't be bad. You could also just go right under the center, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's late enough. Just go to, like, the top of the 8-foot, and then Scott's going to have a decision to make at that point about what to do. I think it's worth making some kind of play to give yourself a chance at 3.
Yeah.
I don't think splitting the rings is the way to do that.
No, not with that red one back there.
No, because you're just going to see Scott play the hit again. I think you can either tap this, and I personally would just tap it straight back.
Yep.
Or just play the straight come around the center guard. Looks like he's going to try a split of some kind. Split tap.
Looking for about back 8 weight. Yeah, I don't know. You got to get both. Well, unless they're hoping that they can play the hit on their yellow.
Well, maybe what they're more concerned about is not necessarily sitting 3, but just having 3 in the rings. And hoping that maybe they get a pass at removing that red that's back there to score a bunch. And it's not all that tough to either just tap this up and sit 2 or just chip off of it and roll in to sit 2. I don't think there is a split to actually sit 3. I think that yellow is just a bit too far out.
The sweepers like the weight, I think. It's got a lot to move.
It's not going to catch much of that yellow at all.
Ooh, not enough to
push it on, and it might not even stay.
Oh, man.
Well, it is just barely going to hang on, but it's third shot. I think that was just a bit too much weight. He was only talking back 8, and that was at least back line. It might have almost been hack, actually. Dunham really with 2 choices here. Either go under the center, or you could throw the out turn and actually come down to those 2 on the left and freeze it out and force. This is the kind of shot that you're playing if you are game to try and steal a point and you're okay with risking giving up 2. Calling 8-9. Can't go all the way back to the yellow. They won't be count if they do. Oh, this is tons of weight. This is not even close.
Sean left with an open draw for 2.
Yeah, just needs to get a piece of the 8-foot. Might finally see a multiple score this game for the first time. Looking to take the lead for the first time this game. Sweepers are not interested in this really at all.
Calling about 8-9, meaning back house.
They're okay
back 12.
they're okay if they come to the backing.
I think they will. Oh, it's just fine.
And it will stop just on the back of the 8-foot, so it's a nice time to score. It's always a nice time to score too, but sixth end is a really nice time. Baton, for the first time this game, will take the lead. They're up 4-3. Go into the seventh end. Dunham is going to be behind on the scoreboard for the first time. They'll have the hammer down one, and we'll have that for you right after this. Yep, too much power. So Sean Baton and team grabbing the game's first multiple score, picking up a big 2 in the sixth end. They lead 4-3. Trust us, they lead 4-3 despite what the score up there says. This hasn't been updated yet. And they would desperately like to force Dunham to ones so they can have, there it goes. They would desperately like to force Dunham to a single point this end. That would give Baton the hammer tied coming home in the last end. Dutt with the nice come around and really nice sweeping by his teammates to get that pretty well sunk. It's not quite full 8-foot. I kind of like going around this too. That one's awfully high to just be freezing to. You freeze to it, you might see Dunham just split the house way over on the side and have Baton chasing all game, all end rather. So Chris Bond looking to actually come around that top 8 stone to the side of the button maybe. Baton going to be looking to shrink the scoring area as much as possible.
Good shot by Chris.
Pretty good weight. Doesn't really finish as much as they would like. Can see plenty of this to hit it, probably 3/4. Daniel Dutt looking for the hit and roll away. Love to roll probably to the side of the 8-foot if possible. Get away from that center situation.
So looking pretty good.
I think he got a pretty nice shot here. That is just about perfect. Rolls it way over to the side of the 8-foot. Just in front of the tee line.
Guessing Alex is going to look to hit and roll back to the center.
Oh, yeah. That's what Derek McLean's going to try to do.
Oh, boy.
This might be breezing completely. Yeah, oh, man.
Ouch. Not sure what happened on that one.
Derek just didn't quite get out to the broom, maybe. Derek wondering what best to do. You put a third one in. If so, where do you put it?
He could come under all of those. But
you could, but
you don't want to be deep and leave something for them to freeze on.
Well, yeah, it's a little tricky if you do that, and you're kind of gambling that they won't be successful in shutting down the scoring area and forcing you to one, because Dunham most definitely doesn't want to take only one.
No. Blaine over to the other wing.
Yeah, he's elected to draw over to the right side of the house just to put a third stone in a harmless potential scoring position. Basically saying to the Baton team, I'm going to force you to make a really good shot to stop me from taking 2 or 3. I'm not going to set something up for you. Trick is you want this one T-line or better as well.
Oh, great sweep there.
Very nice shot. Derek's got a chance to make up for his first mistake. Try this hit and roll again.
Sean on it again. Gonna get the hit.
Gonna get a piece. I don't think it's gonna stay though.
No.
Nope. Another over curl. Didn't have a ton of weight on it. I think Derek probably threw that one pretty good. Just curled a bunch. Now Scott looking for basically the same exact shot he just had Andy throw. Just get it further over to the side. Have 3 spread out all across the rings. Be in great shape to score a couple.
Sweepers are saying it's a little heavy. Oh, now they're on it. Another great shot.
Very nicely done. This has got to be a distressing situation for the Baton rink. They've got Dunham sitting 3 completely spread out. Not a great hit and roll option. No double opportunity because of their own guard. It's like, man, what do we do with this? They can't really do anything with their guard up there because that's their only saving grace. That's the only way they're ever going to force this end. But it's in the way of any double or possibly even triple.
And even running it back into like any of them, it really doesn't do them any good.
Well, the only way it would be any good is if they made the dead nose run triple. But if you hit it just a little off and you peel it out, you've left Dunham sitting 3 all across the house with hammer. You can't do that. As much as they'd hate to play. Oh man, they're looking at it. Oh boy.
They'd almost be better off just playing the hit and roll on the right one.
That's what I'm thinking. I know that guard is the only way you're ever going to get rid of more than one, but that guard is the only way you're ever going to force or have any shot of stealing this end.
Looks like Chris is trying to be the voice of reason here.
Yeah, I think that hit and roll off the right one is your best bet. I mean, you'll roll behind the tee line, but you just need to roll buried. Just roll under cover somewhere. Just roll to like the back 4 foot, and suddenly it's looking a whole lot better. And that's a far easier shot than any kind of run back in this situation, anyways. I think what Chris did there is sort of the equivalent of I'm laying in front of the hack, you're not throwing the shot, because that's what I would do. I was like, no, Alex, I'm sorry, I'm not letting you throw that run back. That's just suicide. So good little intervention there by Chris. Not a great situation anyway. You slice it for the Baton team, but this of the various poor options, this is the least bad. Not the longest roll. Just got to roll about 4 feet. You roll to the back 4 foot. You've got something under cover. You're at least giving yourself a chance to force.
They need this one to curl. Looks like they're going to hit the outside of it and roll out.
Roll away.
Guessing Scott's going to replace it. Yep.
I would say so. You can even go a little deeper. You've got that yellow back there. You could even come down to that if you wanted to. This end so far is kind of a situation in how a perfectly positioned lead stone can really hose an opposing team, because the whole way this end has played out has been predicated on where that first lead stone directly under that center guard was placed. Well, not quite as deep as they would have liked. It's gonna leave Alex another chance for this hit and roll.
Oh, boy.
Oh, don't tell me they're going to breeze another one. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Oh, they catch it, but is it enough to get it out?
No, it is not.
Oh, man.
Well, now Dunham wondering maybe we peel the guard now.
I don't know about that.
It's a tough shot because your two reds are in the way of the peel now. I don't think you worry about that.
Nope. I mean, you could bring another one under, but you don't. You can't risk being deep, though.
You cannot go under the center. No way.
Just put it on either of the wings again.
I would say why not go back to that yellow almost.
Yeah.
I don't like going up there because you might give them some kind of hit and roll in off of that. I think you play a similar kind of draw like you just did and just go deeper. Go all the way back to that yellow back there. It's not going to hurt you back there. Looks like they're going to actually go to the other side.
Weight's close on this one.
If they come over there, I think it'd be okay to just go right down to their other one. Even cross the face and get low on the one that's in the rings.
Looks like they're going to lock it right on. I'm just short. It still leaves a hit and roll.
It leaves a double and roll. I'm not a real big fan of where they put that. I would have been okay being all the way down to that red or even tapping it. Or if you do come down to it, be on the left, kind of angled to the outside.
Yep, make that hit and roll as difficult as possible.
Yeah, the Baton team had no option to hit and roll into the top of the forefoot before this, and now they do. If our analytics are telling us correctly, we're up. Oh, just dropped by one. We're up to a weekend high of 83 folks tuning in. We're glad you all could join us on this Sunday morning.
Yes, welcome and thank you.
I hope you enjoy the coverage. Certainly enjoy providing it for you. Or I should say commentating. It's really more John Benton and Four Seasons Curling Club that is doing the actual providing of the stream.
Oh boy.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
They do catch it,
They're
but
going to catch it, but where's it going? It might go onto that back one a little. No consequence.
no. Leaves Scott Dunham sitting 3.
Boy, oh boy. Baton and company really having a hard time being accurate with their hits and rolls. I don't think they can afford to go over there again.
No,
You're going to give them the exact same shot. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I liked your option before. Just play it to the back right.
Yeah.
Don't give them a hit and roll.
Then what have they got? That's also a possibility, way over to the left.
Yeah.
Let's see what they opted to do here. They're going to go back over to that same side. They're going hard just to get this to the paint now.
It's going to sneak in.
Just barely.
Not a bad spot, really.
Yeah, it's far enough over and high enough that any roll of the forefoot is an extremely sharp roll.
Yeah, Sean's options are either to hit and roll off of something or just draw.
Dead draw under everything. You could hit and roll off of that left one. Really, either direction. You could try to roll to the center or just short roll under the one just played there and sit second.
This is Sean's last rock of the end.
Yeah, trying to save the end and effectively save the game. If there's some way that they could limit the damage to 3 here, they'd only be down 2. Looks like he's just going to play the draw around everything. Try to get to the back of the 8-foot. Sweepers don't seem happy with it. It's running like it's not light.
They'll get the...
They're going to stay for shot. He actually had decent weight, but it's not going to be buried at all.
It's going to be an open hit for 5.
And really just a collection of mistakes by the Baton team. Really all started with Derek McLean's flashed hit. And then a series of attempted hit and rolls that either rolled out or just rolled too far.
Sounds like a pretty good shot here.
Looks like he's right on the business. Sticks right there, and that's a 5 spot, and that is going to bring handshakes. Dunham is going to advance to the semifinal against Mike McCarville, defeating Sean Baton by a score of 8-4. We will have that game for you at 11 a.m. Central, only about 45 minutes from now. Until then, this is Sean Murray, Evan Jensen signing off from the Four Seasons Curling Club. We'll see you at 11.